I'm probably gonna party finder this one as well. Let's party finder it for a minute. Let's see. Limitless Blue, Cinder Drift, Extreme. I was talking about doing that, just not today. Raids. Not Savage. Wait, is Umbra the one I wanted to do? Eden's Promise, yep. Umbra. I'll keep first clear for story on. Sage. I love Sage so much. Oh, to see how well this goes. I need a level Scholar because I love Scholar as well. Shield healing is just my thing. I love shield healing. But yeah, I haven't touched Scholar because I didn't even play it really in I played Paladin and White Mage in Stormblood mostly. Because Stormblood Scholar started very, very weak because they didn't tune the fairy correctly, and your heals were naturally tuned so that the fairy could make up like half of them. And so when Stormblood like started, it was an absolute Scholar was next to unplayable, especially in like the higher level stuff, because you really the fairy made up like half a lot of your healing, and it was just tuned to not be good. The level scaling just got far and away from the fairy. So I didn't touch Scholar in Stormblood too much. I mean, to be fair, Heavensward Scholar was fucking like peak. It was good. First ever unsynced solo extreme clear ever was Titan Extreme, done by a Scholar. So in Heavensward. So I mean, Scholar in Heavensward, Scholar was winning. It was really strong. Like, because of the way we were able to like get like our gear like stacked up really well. If you stacked like a ton of crit into Scholar in Heavensward, and you were crit healing like every other one on your adlos, it was really high, and it had like really good DPS as well, because it still had access to like it had like 2 different dots that it could do. So that was the cardinal sin that's cursed Scholar since, pretty much. Let me see, while we're waiting, let me see if I can pull up that video. Titan solo Scholar. (2016) Titan EX Scholar solo. There you go. Yeah, they crit adload the fairy, and then emergency deployed it on itself to start the fight. And then look, even though it's a Scholar, it still had 3 different dots. Wait, why does it have a wind dot? What the fuck? An arrow dot. I don't know why they have an arrow dot. Actually, am I just misremembering a skill? Oh, we still had class swapping skills at this point. That's right. You could still, like, if you had a class, you could still swap skills over from other classes at this point. I forgot about that. You could have Rez as a paladin. We still had cleric stance, so it's the only way he can do damage really is when he's in cleric stance right now. That didn't go away until I think Stormblood, or it was like really late Heavensward. One of the two, I can't remember. Also, did you see how tiny Sacred Soil is? Oh no, that's the DPS summoner skill. So they pulled Arrow from White Mage and they pulled the DPS. No, well, oh, I guess Scholar just had that DPS area effect still at that point. Yeah, they had a lot of dots. So that's where he's getting all his damage from. And fun thing about Titan EX specifically, I believe hard mode doesn't have this and normal mode doesn't have it, but you can live through that. Hard mode, you instantly die if you don't break the goal. Or the jail. Sorry. So, but extreme, as long as you have a strong enough shield or high enough health pool, you could live through it. But in hard mode, it's just an insta kill. Man, this skill set, dude. He's got sustain right here, so he could heal his fairy. I think that's sustain. No, that's his sustain right here. That's rouse. This is sustain, the green one. That's sustain. This is rouse. So he could increase like the fairy's like a bit like cast speed. He had 3 different dots that he could put on: miasma, miasma 2, and I can't remember the third one. He slotted in, and then you also had you had Sacred Soil and you had a damage dealing area dot that you could put down that was shared with Summoner. You could here's Fester. You could spread, or not Fester, or something like that, but you could spread dots. So you could apply dots all to like one target, and you could spread them like a DPS deployment tactics. I don't think Aether Stack, yeah, Aether Stacks weren't a thing yet, I believe, because I don't even see that as a HUD anywhere. Oh no, it's right here. It's just on his HUD. There was no like bar though. This was the glory that was Scholar. This is why I became a shield healer main. Was this? Because I actually became, I was ninja in Arama Born, and then I played White Mage, and then Heavensward came along, and I started playing Scholar. And Astro, and I would play Astro at that time. You could swap between regen and shield healing, and I would play Astro as a shield healer. Yep, putting the dot down. God, it's so tiny, and like in comparison to like a lot of the area effects we have nowadays, it's so because Sacred Soil was like the same size as that, I think. It probably wasn't any bigger. I'd love to like look back on like the like skill notes to see how large Sacred Soil was back here. It might have been like as big as it is now. I might just be talking on my ass. Literally covering almost the whole arena. Yeah. Well, yeah, not as big as it is now, but as big as it was the last patch. Yeah. Yeah, then he just ad loads himself, and he can live through the damage that this thing causes. This is also a free number crunch as well. So the numbers have been crunched down. I don't know if you necessarily could do this now. I've only played like like actual content with a number crunch. I haven't tried to do anything like this since it. It still took him a while to kill him. He's also got the echo going. I think it's only one stack of echo though. But you have 90-minute queues. He's already been here for 33 minutes. So he's died and wiped a couple times to get that echo buff to like help him survive through it. Yeah, he's got max echo. I can see it in the chat. It's 25%. I believe the 25% echo was the max before. I believe they've buffed it to like 35 now as like the max echo you can receive. Shadow Flare, that was the AoE dot. That's right. That was close. He's almost won at this point. Armor, this part's hard because you actually have to keep these separated a little bit. These two, or you have to kill them separate in like separate sections because they like blow up once they're both dead, something like that. Oh, that's right. They drop the puddles. That's what it is. Look at how strong that embrace was, though. Like that's what I'm talking about. That's how strong embrace used to be. It did like the fairy healed a third. Oh, we're full. Oh shit. I was not expecting that. Yes. Where was the video I was just watching? It like disappeared on me. Oh, I just closed it. I want to finish watching this real quick. We're gonna skip ahead because it was like almost done. It's still got like 2 minutes left. Let's watch the ending of it. Because I haven't seen this in a long time. I believe Scholar was the first clear. It might have been Warrior, but I'm pretty sure this was the first clear. And then Warrior was the second one. He had Enrage. And he won. You could hear him like clicking the screenshot. See, that was the first clear, because I think that one happened Titan, Solo Scholar. That one was January, and I think Warrior was like April or something like that. Let's see, Warrior. Oh no, Warrior was first, because Warrior was 2015 in September. So actually Warrior was the first one. Scholar was the second. Was it Xenos that did it? Or is this him reacting to it? 'Cause I got the Xenos video. I don't know if this is him reacting to it or if this was actually him doing it. Wow, dude, that's Xenos. Dude. So Xenosis was actually the first Titan solo clear. That's so crazy to think about for me. And it was Warrior. I had it mixed up. Scholar was the second one. But they were the only two that could do it. Jesus Christ, just thinking this, like, the way he looks, too. He looks so different right now. Oh my God. He popped Equilibrium, and then I think he had to have the health boost as well from Thrill of Battle in order to live through it. Maybe not. I like how he cut out his own audio. That's because Warrior had so many ways to heal itself at this point. I think Bloodletting is like pretty up there and equal to how it used to be, but in Heavensward, the amount that you could heal yourself back was insane. Especially like, so it had what's the DPS skill where you can get health back? Blood for Blood, I think is what's called. Well, you could mix that with Vengeance. When you popped Vengeance, it was like 30% defense increase, and then it also hit back. It was like a Thorns damage that would also heal you. Also, the heal yourself for damage skill was pulled from Warrior. So if you wanted it on your DPS, you had to pull it from Warrior itself. Because this was back when you could like, you know how there's like the roll skills now? Back in the day that didn't exist, that was cross skills. And you had certain jobs, you had to level up other jobs in order to like 15 in order to unlock it. I don't know if you still have to do that. I don't think so. But like, so like for like Paladin, you had Gladiator, you had to level up Conjurer to 15 in order to hit Paladin. And you could pull Conjurer skills over. So you could put Cure 1 and you could put Raise on your Paladin. I don't know. I don't think you could pull Arrow. You might have been able to. But that's also, casters couldn't have Swift Cast unless they leveled Black Mage. Like your White Mage wouldn't have Swift Cast for your raises unless they also leveled Black Mage to get Swift Cast, and then they could class it over. So it was like it was a must to do that. Also at this point, Fell Cleave I think was the strongest skill in the game. So not only did Warrior have like the best like healing possible in the game, like self heals, it also had like I think the highest potency skill in the game. If you didn't count like, because Flare didn't have the like 50% damage for each successive enemy. It only had like the flat damage. So if you had like a group of enemies, like once you get like 3 enemies, I think Flare had the higher damage technically, but solo single hit damage, I believe at this point Fell Cleave was it. Yeah, that's like crazy. I forgot that it was Xenosis that did it. He's on the edge of his seat because he's like super close to beating it right here. I skipped ahead. Oh my god. This is taking me so back to Heavensward. Oh my god. Because I remember I was a scholar and I had like a tank that I would always tank with. That was a warrior. And I would love it, especially because they had like their tank skill, specifically just their tank skill, because it didn't reduce the Dark Knight and Paladin's tank skills. So this was back tank skills. You'd have 2 different tank skills. You'd have your tanking stance and you'd have your DPS stance. And you can see him swapping between them. He has Defiance and Deliverance on his hotbar, if you look at the bottom right here. So Deliverance was the damage one, and Defiance was the tank one. When you had the tank stance one on for Warrior, you didn't take reduced damage, but you healed for 20% more. Paladin had reduced damage. He won right here. He's like screaming. He's like, come on, give me another hit. But Defiance, because it had 20% extra healing, especially on this like shield healer, you would get that crit heal on a warrior, and you'd have like his whole health bar full. It was great. And TP existing, oh my god.